strength in leadership doesn't look like we think it looks. Sometimes we're thinking that strength in leadership means we don't actually have feelings. We don't communicate those feelings. We can't be vulnerable to the people around us. We can't admit that we're struggling with something, or that something doesn't feel really good, or we disagree with an idea, or we're stressed out about something. And of course, that's not right. That's not the truth. Vulnerability in leadership is not weakness. Vulnerability in life is not weakness. In fact, we know this because when we're vulnerable, when we're revealing something that we're struggling with, and we still move forward, we need a lot of strength. So Steve Magnus, Brené Brown, they do a lot of work around, the truth around vulnerability, the true science of toughness, and the correlation between being tough or having emotional fortitude and vulnerability. In leadership, one of the ways that we practice this is through the skill of emotional expression, of actually communicating constructively our emotions. If you're a leader who's trying to work on this because oh, that's a gap, I'm not relatable to other people because I don't actually express my emotions, I look like a bit of a robot, but I'm also not approachable because I don't talk about feelings. So if you want to work on this, the easiest way to start working on it is to communicate your quote unquote positive emotional experiences. I like this idea because I'm proud of you, because I'm really happy, because. So you express motivation, contentment, engagement, gratitude. You express those emotions. They're a little bit easier for us because they're positive. And then where we do struggle in communicating quote unquote negative emotions, we tiptoe our way into that. A powerful way to tiptoe is not to use language, I am frustrated. An effective way is to say, I'm experiencing frustration. I'm creating frustration, and here's why. The reason it's more effective to use that language is, one, you are claiming responsibility for the emotion. So when you communicate it, I am frustrated, other people will imply they did something wrong to create it or to cause it. When you say I'm creating or I'm experiencing frustration, there's claiming and responsibility in the language that lands on you so other people can remain separate from your emotional experience. Now, here's why I'm frustrated. Here's why I am creating or experiencing frustration. I expected this, but this is what I'm observing, and that's creating a gap. Help me. Help me understand more deeply why this gap exists, what's going on, what's happening. And by using emotional information at the beginning, people can connect more to the logic that we then share or the observation we then share. Oh, now I can see why you are experiencing that emotion based on then what you just shared. Notice that human beings make this connection all the time. It's the skill of empathy. If as a leader, we show up only with logic, it's hard for people to demonstrate empathy. Why? Because only logic. As soon as we add our emotional information to it, people can connect to us and they can use their skill of empathy, where they can go, oh, I see where you're coming from. I understand why this emotion and that, based on how you describe both of these pieces working together. And now they can fill in information that you need to either validate the emotion you're experiencing because what you observed and what you thought was going on is what's going on, or shift your emotional experience because now they're going to fill in different information and let you know, oh no, that's not what's happening. This is what's going on. You're like, oh, well, I don't need to be frustrated, or I need to be a different emotion. When you want to excel beyond the threshold of technical, you need your EQ. And in leadership, it accounts for 68% of your day-to-day interactions. It's not a skill that you can leave to the wayside. And emotional expression is definitely not a skill you can avoid.